Hey everyone, it's time again to recap the latest news from the solar PV industry compiled by the American Solar Energy Society. I'm Jay Warmke with SolarPVTraining.com, and this is what's happening in the wonderful world of solar for the week of January 25th. Solar and storage accounted for 72% of all new electric generating capacity on the U.S. grid in the first 10 months of 2025, according to a review of FERC data. Solar PV has held this position for 26 months in a row and has now edged out wind power as the largest source of renewable energy capacity on the U.S. grid. Solar, wind, hydropower, and biomass accounted for 87.2% of all new generating capacity, while natural gas added 12.4%, with the remainder coming from oil and waste heat. Taken together, wind and solar constitute nearly 1/4, or 23.79%, of the United States' total available installed utility generating capacity. More than 25% of the U.S. solar capacity is in the form of small-scale rooftop systems that are not reflected in this data. Now, based on FERC estimates, utility-scale solar is slated to account for just over 17% of installed U.S. generating capacity in 3 years, placing it second behind natural gas with an estimated 40% capacity. Combining all estimated renewable energy capacity, utility-scale renewables could exceed 38% by 2029 and could surpass natural gas by 2030. The North Carolina Clean Energy Technology Center published a report finding that 49 states, plus Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico, have taken distributed solar policy actions during 2025. The only state that did not take any solar policy actions was Tennessee. The most common policy change related was to net metering, community solar, and increases in residential fixed charges. The most active states were Colorado, Illinois, Connecticut, Virginia, Maine, and New Jersey. The report identifies 10 solar policy trends, including state responses to waning federal tax credits, consolidating billing for community solar programs, and changes to net metering policies. The U.S. solar industry's federal incentive ecostructure has been drastically reshaped by the Trump administration, with most renewable energy subsidies either canceled or phased out, and the solar industry is now shifting its messaging to tout solar speed to the grid compared to other energy sources such as natural gas. As the demand for new power-hungry AI data centers rise, so does the need for quick-to-grid generating capacity. The number of announced gas projects has grown over the last year, but it still takes around 5 years to get a new turbine delivered. Utility-scale solar projects can be built much faster. As it stands today, solar projects consistently beat natural gas projects to the grid despite these interconnection delays. As mentioned, the lead time for a new gas scale or large-scale gas turbine is 5 or more years. If a developer wishes to obtain a gas turbine by 2030, they're probably already too late, according to industry experts. Even without procurement issues, gas turbine project development takes between 2 to 4 years, and construction takes another 1 to 2 years. By comparison, the average procurement and construction time of a large solar project is about 12 to 18 months. While solar project timelines are shortening, U.S. federal policies that favor gas turbines are actually resulting in longer lead times as the demand for turbines increase while suppliers struggle to increase their capacity. The Trump administration's war on renewable energy continues. The Department of Energy announced last Thursday that it's canceling $83.6 billion in Biden-era loans slated for clean energy projects. This is the latest action the Trump administration has taken to reprioritize federal support for fossil fuel sources away from renewable energy. Of the affected loans, $9.5 billion originally scheduled for solar and wind projects have been diverted to natural gas and nuclear projects. These loans were issued by the Department of Energy's Loan Programs Office under the Biden administration, which has since been renamed the Office of Energy Dominance Financing, or EDF. The Trump administration has canceled $29.9 billion of the $83.6 billion issued and is working to, in their words, de-obligate the remainder. The EDF has allocated $289 billion for its new areas of priority in energy infrastructure, which include investing in fossil fuel projects that use coal, oil, gas, also in geothermal and nuclear power, as well as focusing on mineral extraction. And that's the news from the solar industry for this week. We'll see you next week.